In a move that flew under the radar while the basketball world waits on mega headlines involving names like Kevin Durant, the Indiana Pacers and New Orleans Pelicans made a surprisingly strategic trade, and the implications could be massive down the line. Indiana shipped the number 23 pick in the 2025 NBA draft and the rights to Mojave King, a 2023 second-round stash pick, to New Orleans. In return, the Pacers received something you don't see often in trade packages: their own future. Specifically, they got back the rights to their top 4 protected 2026 first-round pick, which had been previously traded to New Orleans. On the surface, it's a strange move. Why would a team deep in the NBA Finals picture, with a legitimate shot at a title, engage in draft gymnastics just days before potentially winning it all? And why trade away a solid first-rounder in a loaded draft class? But dig a little deeper, and you'll see both franchises playing 4D chess, not checkers. At first glance, trading away a first-round selection for a pick they already owned seems like a redundancy, almost like paying twice for something they once had. But for Indiana, this was all about strategic flexibility and financial maneuvering. Let's talk money first. The Pacers are expected to re-sign Miles Turner, their defensive anchor and a centerpiece of their run to the finals. Turner will command a hefty salary, and the Pacers, for the first time since 2006, are willing to cross into luxury tax territory to keep this core intact. Every dollar matters under the new, harshly restrictive CBA, which punishes tax apron violators with limited roster building tools. Trading away the 23rd pick, with a rookie salary of about $3.2 million, is a small but meaningful way to trim costs. But the financial angle is only one piece of the puzzle. Regaining control of their 2026 first-round pick also clears up a major roadblock for the Pacers in future trade talks. NBA rules prevent teams from trading future first-round picks in consecutive years unless they own the pick outright, a rule known as the Stepien rule. Previously, the Pacers couldn't trade their 2026, 2027, or 2028 picks outright due to protections and obligations to the Pelicans. Now that's changed. By reclaiming their 2026 pick, Indiana unlocks the ability to trade 4 future first-round picks: 2026, 2028, 2030, and 2032. That's massive ammunition. The kind of draft capital needed to chase a second star, or shake up the roster around Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and Jalen Williams, especially if they fall short in these finals. This wasn't just about money or a forgotten future pick. It was about opening up the war chest. New Orleans, meanwhile, is a team in flux. With Zion Williamson's long-term viability still uncertain, the Pelicans are looking to reshape their roster and chart a more stable path forward. And they just scored a legitimate win. In this deal, they get back into the 2025 draft, a class that scouts are already raving about. Now armed with the number 7 and number 23 picks, the Pelicans have options. They can add 2 promising prospects to complement Brandon Ingram and Trey Murphy III, or, and this is where it gets spicy, they can trade up. According to ESPN's Jonathan Givney, the Pelicans are highly intrigued by Ace Bailey, a raw but electric wing who has top 3 upside but is reportedly narrowing his options to a team that can fast-track his stardom. The Philadelphia 76ers, drafting at number 3, have made that pick available. With 2 first-rounders now in hand, New Orleans could create a compelling offer. Would it take more than 2 picks? Absolutely. Could they include Herbert Jones, their all-defensive gem? That's unclear. But if they believe Bailey is a potential face of the franchise-type player, it might be a price worth paying. Bailey is long, explosive, and versatile. He's the kind of raw talent that gives rebuilding teams a new identity, and maybe even the long-awaited torchbearer if the Zion era quietly closes. And let's not forget the throw-in, Mojave King, who has yet to play in the league but showed flashes in the G League. At worst, he's a flyer. At best, he's a rotation piece in a few years. This isn't the kind of trade that grabs headlines. It's not flashy. There are no stars, no blockbuster names, no Woj bombs. But make no mistake, this is a high IQ move on both sides. The Pacers clear cap space and unlock draft flexibility at a crucial time in their championship window. The Pelicans jump into a strong draft class with a second lottery chip and a real shot at jumping up the board. They're future-proofing themselves whether Zion stays or not. If Bailey becomes a star in New Orleans, this deal could mark the moment the Pelicans turned the page. If Indiana swings a major trade in 2026 using their now unlocked picks, this will be seen as the trigger that made it all possible. 2 smart front offices, 2 very different timelines.